All right, good morning, everyone. It is rainy out there. Oh, kind of gloomy, isn't it? Just think about the grass greening up and the tulips starting to pop on the other side of this. I have a feeling that spring feels like it's really arrived as soon as you get through this first kind of steady rain that we started yesterday and continue this morning. It's going to be raining most of the day. Here's Riley's forecast. Yep, it'll clear up by this afternoon. Hopefully by 4 it should be done. And then tonight will be okay, a little cloudy, 42. And it'll feel damp out there, won't it? But, yep, a little break by the end of the day today. And then, hey, it's not going to rain the next 2 days, so enjoy that. Let's talk about this. We know that restaurants and breweries, among other places, have really been hit hard during the pandemic. But St. Paul has launched a new campaign to try to draw a little attention to the restaurants in that community. It's called Dine St. Paul. Encourages people to support their restaurants like El Burrito Mercado. We're looking at video of their terrific restaurant, great mercado. They're recommending, you can dine in, you can dine out, you can take out, you can deliver, you can do all these things. DineStPaul.com is where you can kind of register for a weekly email with restaurant suggestions, be entered for a chance to win a daily restaurant gift card, too. And we hung out in District del Sol, showing some of the nice restaurants in that area. St. Paul has so many great spots. I love the St. Paul restaurant scene. And we thought this would be a nice opportunity for you to give some of your favorite restaurants a shout out in your community. I always value this because a lot of times you guys tell me about restaurants that I've never heard of or want to go visit. So let's load it up. Let's give shout outs to your favorite restaurants. Leave a comment on the WCCO TV Facebook page, and we'll read through some of your favorite restaurants in just a moment. We could know by the end of the week when the next group of Minnesotans will be eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine. The state is proud of their efforts. They say they're working fast. They are crowing about the fact that they have administered 89% of the vaccines that the state has received from the federal government. We're number one. It's more than any other state. Doesn't mean we're getting more vaccines or getting more in people's arms, but things are going well. And the next group able to get that vaccine will be people 50 and older, as well as people 16 and older with underlying medical conditions. In the state's original timeline, that group was supposed to be eligible in May, but looks like it could be much sooner than that. We're expecting specifics from the governor's office as soon as the end of this week, but because things are ahead of schedule, the governor's office and the Department of Health says it looks like they're going to move things along by this week. Welcome news, of course, for people kind of waiting for their turn to make an appointment. Jury is set. Derek Chauvin's trial starts on Monday. The jury is fully seated. Derek Chauvin, of course, the former police officer charged in George Floyd's death. 15 jurors will be in court Monday, but one will be released. So there will be 12 jurors and 2 alternate. Trial will start Monday morning. We'll have jury instructions, then opening statements, and then testimony probably starting Monday afternoon. A Minnesota man who just moved to Colorado was at the Boulder supermarket when that horrific shooting started. He told us just seconds, mere seconds, may have made the difference in allowing him to escape with his life.
He was shooting across the parking lot right in front of me. Had I left 10 seconds earlier, I probably wouldn't be here today. It was one of those things where I knew it was bad. The type of rifle he had, I knew that anyone that he was aiming at would probably be dead.
Brian and his wife moved to Boulder just 2 months ago from New Brighton. Another Minnesotan was also in the store when the shooting started. University of Colorado freshman from Bemidji. He was able to escape out another door in that grocery store. It has renewed calls for gun safety laws. We've seen this time after time. When there is a shooting that shocks the nation's consciousness, there is talk about changing gun laws, but often it is just talk, for better or for worse. President Biden says he wants the Senate to pass 2 bills that would expand background checks on firearm sales. We reached out to all 10 of Minnesota's national lawmakers, all our senators and representatives, and said, all right, what do you think about all this? Well, only of the Republicans, Representative Fishbach, is the only one who responded, and she said she didn't want to answer. The others didn't answer our questions. Minnesota's 6 Democrats did respond, and they all had sort of similar ideas, sponsoring bills that would close loopholes and require background checks on nearly all gun sales. The background check bill passed the House this month, and the vote, as so many of these gun control issues are, was split directly down party lines. I wonder if a waiting period will be something that gets discussed here. This is something I think about a lot, where you have discussion of restricting access to guns and changing those laws. But in this case, the shooter, the alleged shooter, bought the gun 6 days, I believe, is what prosecutors allege, 6 days before the shooting. You wonder if you put a 30-day wait period in, might that be something that would find a little more common ground between the political parties? Who knows? Planning a summer road trip, you may need to save a few more pennies because analysts say $3 gas is coming. Prices have been up. You've probably noticed this at the pump. I sure have, 47 days straight. And you know, I remember $4 a gallon gas, so when you're under 3, you feel pretty good about it. National average $2.89. Paying a little less in Minnesota, $2.76. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I paid $2.69 yesterday. But there are some places where it's higher. We haven't seen $3 regularly since 2014. And by Memorial Day, analysts think it's going to be here. A couple reasons. One, people are traveling again. So road trips are happening. People are going back to work and back to school, and so they're using more fuel. But we've also seen production cuts by frackers and OPEC, partially because prices have been so low. So you say, I don't know if it's worth pulling this oil out of the ground. Analysts say that this is a delicate balance, though. Oil industry does not want to see $4 a gallon gas because that would only accelerate the shift to electric vehicles. Take a look at this video from Ukraine. It's pretty crazy. There's a young boy stuck on a floating piece of ice in the middle of a river. Yeah, look how tiny that little piece of ice. A quick thinking fisherman was there, thankfully, to help Richard Gorda cast a line with a weight on the end out to the boy. And look, he sort of reeled in the boy and the ice, kind of like a little raft. Air temperature was about 32 degrees, so an icy swim to shore could have really ended badly for that young boy. I'm not sure how he ended up out there, but reel him in, brought him into safety. From Prince to Chief Impact Officer. Does Prince Harry have a real job, or is this just brilliant PR and a great title for him? I mean, doesn't the royal family, if they know anything about titles that mean nothing, that would be the royal family for you. He's got a high-tech job in San Francisco. This company's called Better Up. Sounds kind of interesting, actually. It markets itself as a custom coaching company. They use artificial intelligence and behavioral science to sort of, you know, help people out. Prince Harry told the Wall Street Journal, as Chief Impact Officer, he plans to impact people's lives through proactive coaching. What does this mean? Prince Harry's getting paid. I think that's what it means. Very good. All right, back to, I'm glad he got a job. Weren't you guys worried? Like, man, he had to leave the royal family. Just hope he can get a gig. All right, we're talking about restaurants, some of your favorite restaurants to go visit. You left your comments on our Facebook page. Here we go. Andiamo in Woodbury. Katrina Lau. I've never been to the Woodbury location. Years ago, one of the first restaurant reviews I ever did 10 years ago for Minnesota Monthly Magazine was Andiamo in Eagan. That restaurant was started by some of the original people who were involved in Buka. And Andiamo is fantastic. Luray Iron Ranger on Grand Avenue in St. Paul. That's on my list, Luray. I feel like I've been to most St. Paul residents, but for whatever reason, Iron Ranger has kind of snuck through, so I haven't been there yet. Thanks for the tip. Some great suggestions from Judy. Oh, Keys is just a classic. Keys, eat at 5th and Banning, and Washington Square. Washington Square is good, too. Yeah, good suggestions. Thanks, Judy. And here's Nikisha. Hey, nothing wrong with the little Jimmy John's. I was kind of craving. What's your sandwich? What's your Jimmy John's sandwich? For me, Beach Club. Back in the day, they used to put Sprouts on it. Now I think like there's some concern, you know, illnesses or, the Vito's a good one. You got to get the extra jardiniere on there, the hot peppers. All right, Nothing wrong with little Jimmy John's and Chipotle, that's for sure. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Appreciate your viewership here on the Morning Update on CBSN Minnesota. We're going to be your home for court coverage as well starting next week. I'll be anchoring that. So look forward to you joining us over there all day as the court is in session. Have a nice day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.